Hi everyone, Brent Simon here. Quick update for you, just sort of keeping you in touch with the DV2024 numbers count. So we do have an update hot off the press from South Ischias. Let me just show you that. The update, let me make this a little bigger. The update, there you go, that's nice and big. The update is 52,957 are issued with 127 in AP. What does that give us? Total of 54. Oh, well, sorry. Hang on. Let me just back out the 1,093. Let me just back that out. 53,084. We also heard from Curtis Morrison today. He kindly posted an update from a lawsuit that he's working on, where the lawyers are giving periodic, very frequent updates of the government's perception of where they're at. And a couple of interesting things. Firstly, their number is very close to ours. They actually gave an update as of yesterday, which was within about 40 case numbers or 40 visas of ours, very, very similar to our number from South Ischias. And they also said that there were 1,093 visas issued through the adjustment of status process, which we can't get data for. So that's kind of an important update. So if we add in the 1,093, it gives us 54,177 visas issued, and there are 54,847 available. So we've got about 650 to go, roughly about 650 to go. They issued less than 100 in the last 24 hours, and only 120 the previous 24 hours to that. It's fairly clear, in my opinion, that what that means is that they're looking at the remaining 221G cases that they have, but those are not being cleared. They've cleared as many as they can, and they're clearing a few more on a daily basis. And perhaps they're performing a few remaining interviews around the world, but not many. So only 100 a day is nothing like their true capacity. What does this mean? It means we'll have visas for tomorrow and possibly visas for Friday. And they may just say, you know what, we'll let it go to the end of the month, to the 30th, which is Monday, of course. So there's a distinct possibility that despite what their lawyers had previously said about the 23rd, that we will make it to, maybe Friday or Monday even. So that's kind of good news if you're still waiting. Now, of course, let me just clarify. If you don't get your visa approved by the end of day on the 30th, it doesn't matter what status you're in at that point. It doesn't matter how close you are to clearing 221G or anything else. At that point, your chance is gone. So there is no possibility of being approved after that time. You can be approved before that time and then have the visa printed after that time. That's possible. So you could be approved right up until midnight on the 30th. And that time, I believe, would be set in Eastern time in the US as well. Although obviously, in practical terms, the embassies won't be available at that time. I think the embassies will stop issuing at midnight at their time, as opposed to where KCC is or where Washington is. But as I say, you could be approved on that final day and then have your visa printed on the 2nd or 3rd. That's perfectly okay. All right. One other update that I wanted to give for DV 2025. Folks are now receiving their 2NLs, their official 2NLs. Up to now, people have been receiving emails from KCC if they asked. They've been receiving the emails saying, yeah, you're going to be interviewed at so-and-so embassy on this day. People have been stressing about this whole thing, but now they've actually started sending out the 2NLs for the interviews that we know were already set up. So that's good because it's giving people the precise 2NL, which they can take to the doctor and book the physician appointment if the doctor hasn't allowed them to do that. It also gives them the time of their appointment So a lot of people can stop stressing now, and I can stop answering that question over and over again about how do I get the time of my interview and that sort of thing. So so I'm pleased about that. That's about it. Didn't want to go into too much more. Let me just quickly scan down the few questions I've got here. Hi from Canada. Hello, Brits. I'm waiting for the update. Well done, sir. Hi from Dubai. 2NL start for 2025 right now. Yep. Hi, Brit. My visa has been approved today. That's awesome. How many visas left? About 650. Could you talk about the new application in October? What are the new updates, requirements? And I hope if you could talk about picture requirements. It's a good question. We don't have the precise dates or the precise details yet. So whilst I could make some assumptions about the countries that are included, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait because I think we'll have the actual update over the next couple of days. I think it will be maybe the end of this week, perhaps next week. But I think they'll announce the DV2024 entry dates. I'm thinking this week. We'll see. In terms of photo requirements, that's very clear. That doesn't change year to year. So you can go ahead and have a look at the photo requirements from DV 2025. Go and read about that. And it's a really good thing that you're thinking about that, because taking a good photo is a key part of entering the lottery. So it's much better for you to delay your entry. Don't try and enter in the first few days with a crappy photo. Enter later in the month. It makes no difference at all when you enter the lottery. It doesn't make any difference what day of the week you choose, whether it's the beginning of the month, end of the month, makes no difference. But what does make a difference is if you have a crappy photo that doesn't meet the requirements, you will be disqualified out of the process. Okay, and it doesn't make sense to do that. So go and take a good photo. Maybe spend a few bucks and have it professionally taken. If you can't do that, then I do have on my website, on the YouTube, a guide on how to, in fact, there's a couple of guides there on how to take a decent photo. And I'll refresh some of that information over the coming days. Okay. Okay, quick scan down. I've got a meeting to attend in a moment, so can't take long over this. Almighty God is going to bless me abundantly. That's good news. I'm glad he looks after atheists as well. Hi, sir. Do you need to submit your high school documents when filling the DS260 if you play as a high school graduate? No, you don't. When you're filling the DS260, you don't provide any documents. You will need them for the interview. Columbus, Ohio. Game Baru. My brother pays 16K from Ethiopian. Awesome. Let's see. It always starts on the first Wednesday of each October. Yeah, I know that. I know the process, but at the same time, I'll wait. That's why some people have mentioned the October 2nd start date, but I'll wait for official confirmation. Finally, I've received 2NL. Yeah, good. Angela, you don't need to submit documents. That's right. Peter, what is the likely impact of a Trump versus Kamala win on the processing of DV 2025 cases? Can you be specific on mitigation strategies? Oh, geez. Well, first mitigation is to contact anybody you know in America and sit down and talk to them and say, vote for Kamala Harris and not Trump. That would be the first mitigation, Pete. If Trump gets in, there's no mitigation strategy you need for Kamala Harris. She's not going to do anything like stopping the program. She probably will be firm on border control and perhaps even arbitrary, as the Biden administration has been, about trying to tighten up the number of asylum cases and that sort of thing. I think most people in America agree that there should be some level of border control. There should be a push to stop what is termed illegal immigration. But we have to recognize that asylum is legal immigration. Most Americans don't even know that, by the way. They literally are that stupid. They don't understand that asylum is a legal process. And applying for asylum is supposed to be done at a port of entry. You're not supposed to enter the country in between ports of entry, shall we say. But failing to be properly inspected is a fairly trivial illegality. It's about the same as being found drunk in public, right? It literally is as serious as that. It's like 6 months jail time maximum, which is never given to cases. It's just, it's nonsense. So, but people go on about illegal immigrants, and they forget that someone who comes here applying for asylum with a real asylum case is using a legal method. But anyway, so if Trump gets in, well, exercise the Curtis rule, which is if you're scheduled for interview between now and January the 20th, and if you get your interview and you get your visa, particularly if you're from one of the Muslim countries, get your ass to the airport quickly, because Trump could easily come in and make changes, but none of the changes that he could make will be effective before January the 20th if he's elected in November, right? So we'll know how to react, how to mitigate whatever happens, whether Trump wins or Kamala Harris. I'm hoping that Harris wins, obviously, for lots of reasons. I mean, just because Trump is an asshole. If you don't understand that, then frankly, you are not really paying attention. Trump is a complete arse. He's not very good for this country. He wasn't very good at the job. He trashed the economy. He let 1 million people die. He acts disgracefully in his private and public life. He divides people. He promises tons and delivers nothing. And people say things like, well, why didn't Kamala Harris fix things in the last 3.5 years? If she's about to do this and this and this, why didn't she do it? Well, okay. Why didn't Trump build the border wall? Why didn't he give us infrastructure week? Why didn't he replace the healthcare? He didn't do anything. He didn't do a damn thing apart from trash the economy and leave the country in a mess. So I don't want any more Trump time. Thank you. And I'm hoping we won't get that. But there's more at stake. As a father of 3 daughters, I don't want to see Trump anywhere near office. As a person who cares about other human beings and cares about people's rights, I don't want to see Trump anywhere near office. I don't want to see him come in and trash people's rights to marry who they want and that sort of thing. Don't want it. But from an immigration point of view, we might have to act differently if he were to be elected. And it's 50-50 right now, whether he'll be elected or not. I can't believe it's that close, but that just shows you how many morons there are in America, and is an opportunity in a sense, because there's so many dopey people here. It's easy to run circles around Americans because there's just so many of them that are so dopey. Anyway, more of that later, Pete, if we have the unfortunate news that he gets elected. Okay. Right, quick scan. You have to be a very quick scan down here now. Somebody coming to California? Oh, Joel, lovely. Do we have the 25 SEAC data? No, Philip. We checked. Zathis is checked. I checked. We checked. We'll check again on the first, but no, we've checked the 25 data. It's still not in SEAC, or it's not available to SEAC. If I'm married, should I submit the marriage certificate at the interview? Yes, you will. Okay, I'm just scanning down here. No. Okay, so no more sort of really interesting questions. Last question there. Do I have any information on Addis Ababa? All I would say is on Addis, I wouldn't trust them until I saw the data that said I could trust them. So there was some talk about Addis had received interviews up to case number 6,500, and people were rejoicing at that. But I can tell you for sure there are plenty of cases they've missed under 6,500. And so they'll have to catch those up later. So probably on the 1st of January, and I'm saying probably because I'm slightly hoping we'll have it on the 1st of October, but on the 1st of January, we will have the SEAC data that will tell us how the embassies behaved in the first 3 months of the year, and we'll have a better idea about Addis then. If you've got a case number like up to case number 25,000 or so in Africa, I would not trust Addis Ababa. I also wouldn't trust Ankara, and I wouldn't trust Accra. Just don't trust them. Other embassies, it's a bit early to make predictions about, but those three, we can predict they're going to be a bit awful. Okay, everybody. Appreciate your attending this call, and hope the updates are going to continue to be good. I haven't seen any announcements, by the way, about the ending of the 2024 program. So the data says we're good. There's no announcement saying we're ending. The lawyers didn't say to Curtis we're ending the process tomorrow. So for now, we're okay. I'll give you another update tomorrow night. All right, everybody. Bye-bye now.